As Israel-Hamas war enters its 26th day, here are the latest updates. Israel's ground troops were advancing toward Gaza City as diplomatic efforts intensified for at least a brief pause in the fighting in Gaza's deadliest war. US President Joe Biden suggested a humanitarian pause, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken is expected back in the region on Friday. Arab countries, including those allied with the US and at peace with Israel, have expressed mounting unease with the war. The opening of the Rafah border crossing allowed hundreds of foreign passport holders and wounded Palestinians to leave Gaza on Wednesday, followed weeks of talks among Egypt, Israel, the US, and Qatar, which mediates with Hamas. US President Joe Biden on Thursday said that 74 Americans with dual citizenship have been evacuated from the Gaza Strip. Calling this update as good news, he said, "We got out 74 American folks out that are dual citizens." His remark came during a meeting with the President of Dominican Republic in the Oval Office. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel has not given approval for fuel shipments into the Gaza Strip. He made the comments after Israel's military chief said the army could agree to fuel shipments if there are guarantees that they go only to hospitals and do not reach Hamas. Speaking at a news conference Thursday, Netanyahu said there has been no decision on fuel imports. He said, "We are assisting with humanitarian aid including food, medicine and water that exist. There has been no decision on fuel." The United Nations and Gazan hospitals have warned that fuel supplies are quickly dwindling, threatening medical and humanitarian operations in the besieged area. Israel has been conducting a fierce offense in Gaza since a bloody cross-border attack by Hamas on October 7. UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly says it is proving very difficult to bring a pause in the Hamas-Israel war to allow humanitarian aid to reach people in Gaza. Cleverly said that pretty much the whole world has been agreed that we need to get increased volumes of humanitarian aid into Gaza. He told reporters at an AI safety summit in England that we, the US, voices all over the world have been pushing for, these humanitarian pauses, temporarily localized specifically for humanitarian purposes. They have proven to be very, very difficult to achieve. Cleverly, who has made several trips to the Middle East since the war began, said, "We will keep pushing to get these humanitarian pauses for as long as it takes." He said the UK position remains that calls for a broad ceasefire are premature. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has also reiterated his calls for humanitarian pauses in the region. Let's listen to what he said. The Palestinian death toll in the Hamas war has reached 8,805, according to Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza. In the occupied West Bank, 130 Palestinians have been killed in violence and Israeli raids. More than 1,400 people in Israel have been killed, most of them in the October 7 Hamas attack that started the fighting, and around 240 hostages were taken from Israel into Gaza by the militant group.